Up, everybody, and welcome once again because you have just tuned in to Real Laughs right here on Real Radio 104.1. I'm your host tonight. I am James Young, comedian extraordinaire, joined in virtual studio with some funny ass comedians that you guys all know and love. First up, the gentleman who helped start all this hilarity more than 8 years ago. That's right. I'm talking about Miguel Colon Jr. Brother, what's going on tonight?
What's up, man? I'm glad. I was thinking about this, man. We've been on this show now for what, 7, 8 years now
Going
all
on eight
together,
years,
man.
brother. Believe it or not.
Yeah, man. And if the world wasn't so like effed up, we would have run out so much to talk about. Because
Yeah.
there's so many times, and I'm like, what are we gonna talk about today? And then I'm like, the past two presidential administrations have been gold.
Wow.
Have been gold for comedy, man.
Bro, I would personally like to thank P. Diddy for this week. Thank you,
Oh,
sir.
did he?
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
getting worried, and then all
yeah.
of a sudden I was like, well, I don't have to worry. I got more than enough to talk about.
There you go.
I just want to. I can't wait till Farnsworth Bentley takes the stand. He just drops down on the stand from a umbrella. Doom, 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 doom. I like the way you move.
When you're lifeless, I like on the floor.
Who's gonna be the worst? Yeah, who's gonna be the worst witness against P. Diddy? I think it's gonna be the whole band. They're gonna just be there. They're gonna be like, "Oh, finally."
It's gonna be the white guy who handles his IT. That's gonna be the worst witness.
That's gonna be a good one. No, it's gonna be Mace. Because Mace gonna come in there with the shiny suit on still. Like it did. Yeah, it's gonna be Mace. Definitely gonna be Mace, bro. Also in the studio, we got the man that has 1,000 names. Y'all know him as the godfather of Orlando comedy, Ken Miller. But today, he is Jodeci, he is greater than Boyz II Men, and I could not agree more. What's going on, Ken?
What's up, B? You know me out here shooting at the op. You know what I'm saying? That's all I do. B.
Right,
I don't even know what it means, but just know if the op run up on me, son.
Hey, there you go. Hey, tell him, Ken, with my crew by myself.
Bro, if the op run up on me, bam, put you in the pine box, son. You gonna be in the box with my dukes.
Ruthie May,
Ladies and
ashes to
gentlemen,
ashes.
If you can't see right now, if you're not watching on YouTube, Ken is holding up his dead mom's ashes. That's what he's talking about, man.
Yo, Ken, I say when you get the balling, you have a chain made and you make that your medallion. You get a Ruthie May medallion.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Let me see. You have it in.
That's a house, B. I bought my mama a flat, baby.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh,
Ken,
that's wild.
Okay.
get an Etch-a-Sketch and fill it with Ruthie May
Yo,
instead of the sand. And just draw pictures to your mom all the time.
I have my mom's ashes too, but I don't have them in a box.
Bro.
Where they at?
In a necklace.
Oh yeah,
That's boring, bro. He got an extra sketch on the front of that
I get
box.
where you were going with that, Akeem, but the box, he got her
Well,
house.
How big is that thing? Is that like an
listen, my mom
hourglass hanging
died-
around your neck? I mean, how much?
Yeah,
My mom
right.
died when I was broke, so a necklace was all I had.
There you go. I understand.
So where
What'd
the
you
rest
do with
of
the rest of her
ashes?
though?
Listen, I got brothers and sisters. She's out
How many
there.
brothers and sisters? Akeem, when you got 86 brothers and sisters, everybody getting it, and they
Listen,
bagging it up like a dope shop.
Whatever they did with
Hey.
Miss Joyce is up to them.
Hey.
Mine is in a necklace.
Akeem treated his mama's ashes like an Oprah episode. You get some ashes. You get some ashes.
No, Ken,
you get some ashes.
Yeah, it was an
Listen.
apartment in Spanish Harlem with a bunch of girls naked with masks on, and they were viling up Akeem's mom.
New Jack City.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure
Just
she's
enough.
I'm sure she's in an urn somewhere. I just don't know where.
Gotcha. All right,
You
let me
still
introduce-
holding it at the funeral home? Hey, Akeem, we saw you on late night and everything. You gonna come pick this urn up?
Akeem's
Nope.
mom's on layaway.
That's what's going on. Hilarious. All right, let me go ahead and introduce the rest of this panel that's already talking to you guys. Now, the guy that makes all this happen, our official sponsor from Kaufman and Len, your personal injury attorneys. They have been representing and winning for the people of Orlando for more than 20 years. I'm talking about my main man, comedian, comic book creator, and lawyer, Mr. Jeff Kaufman. Sir, how are you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Miguel and I are performing together next Saturday.
Oh,
Looking forward to
nice.
and my daughter graduates Thursday.
Okay, come on. Round of applause for that, man. Your daughter
Yeah.
graduates, and your
Yeah,
daughter
I've been
got a
talking about that.
scholarship to go to University of Florida. Go Gators.
Yeah, she's smart. I don't know if she got that from her mama. But
Nah, you a
she's
lawyer,
smart.
sir. You're doing okay for yourself.
Get it
You
from
smart.
my mama.
Yeah,
She
you get it from
her
mom.
You know what Ken got from his mama?
What?
Ken, what'd you get from your mama?
Bam, son. Ah,
Got a box of ashes.
She dead as hell, bro.
Oh my God.
That's my
This is the
mama.
one.
That's my
This is the
mama
one.
right there, baby.
All right, we're gonna have
Okay.
to cut that out.
Okay, before I introduce our next guest, we have a special guest. Very proud of him, by the way. I want to shout out someone. It's a special birthday for a friend of ours. It happened on Monday, but we want to. I'm sorry, Sunday, but we want to shout it out today. Was it? No, was it on Monday? It was
Hey,
on
how
Monday.
special of a friend is he? You
Yo,
don't even know his
you don't
birthday.
know his
Hey, I'm gonna do
birthday.
it like a guy. James, let me take this segment real quick. I'm
Go
gonna do it
ahead,
like a
brother.
guy.
Miguel.
Hey, Casey's birthday happened a couple days ago. He's our dude. I love him. I don't know when it is, but y'all should respect it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how.
Hey,
That's it. Give him a
Casey
bottle.
is our sound engineer,
Yep.
or AKA what we like to call the guy that has to filter all the N-words Ken drops.
Hey,
That's right.
Hey, you know, I drop nigga every now and then.
Oh my God.
Do it. Make Casey work for it.
Happy
And say it
birthday,
one time.
son.
Say it one time.
First of all, happy birthday, nigga. And
Oh my no! Don't.
Two of them, Casey.
Oh,
it's his birthday.
oh my God.
Can we just all
Wow.
go around and say it? He's gonna edit it.
No, please no.
Hey, what's crazy?
I'll be edited
hey,
if I say it.
Hey,
Yo,
when-
you should
hey,
edit it and make it seem like Jeff did say it.
Yeah.
Get him
Yeah,
And the
canceled.
crazy
every
thing
other
is,
word
though,
Jeff
Akeem,
says.
every time we cuss, we're like, Casey, we're so sorry.
Yeah.
We're so sorry. But happy
Casey's
birthday
getting, I get
to
paid
our
$12
dog, bro.
by iHeart to do this. Cut me a break.
Bro, happy birthday to our dog. Well, Casey been our engineer for the whole time, right?
Whole
The
time.
whole time.
Whole time.
The whole
He's the one
time,
who taught us
man.
the radio business, man.
He
Casey
sure
was
did.
the one who knew when we were doing this. They don't tell you anything. They
They
don't
don't.
say, "Hey, man, this is how you got to do radio." They don't tell you nothing. Casey is the one who'd be like, "Hey, guys, just to let you know, that's illegal," and we'd be like, "What?"
We can't sell that.
Casey's the one. Casey was the one who called that show where we were all drinking that time, with me
Yeah.
and you, and the girl had the fireman carry downstairs to her
Man.
husband.
Hey, Akeem, we had a show. We were in
Let me introduce
studio.
him first,
Okay.
Ken. Real quick before we start, guys, we have another special guest on our show today on Real Laughs. Now, we call it Real Laughs for a reason because we are all comedians, and this next guy is definitely a successful one. He started out here in Orlando a while back, and he went out to LA, went out to New York. He did very well for himself. He got on late night TV, then he kept going, and he got some more opportunities, started traveling with the comedian Godfrey. He's been on the Angela Yee podcast. This guy tours nationally and absolutely kills it. I want y'all to give it up for one of me and Ken's home people, our brother, our son, our bro. We just a person we very proud and we love. Y'all give it up for Akeem Woods. And
Yeah.
the gay.
Yeah. I put gay.
Gay.
Yeah.
He's so,
I put it in parentheses.
so gay.
Oh, he's so
Nah,
gay, he's zesty. That's right.
no, for real. No, Akeem, we were in studio, me, Miguel, and somebody we will not mention her name. We
Mm.
were drinking in studio, and we were so drunk, and she was just cuss word. And Casey was like, "You know what, guys? We're gonna wrap it up for the night." Miguel had to carry
Fireman carry her downstairs to her husband.
Wait, was she a
I said,
comic?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
her husband hit us up, and we're like, "Hey, dude, you got to come get this girl."
Mm. Ha.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Mm.
Well,
What did you teach me, Jeff, when it comes to certain activities? Shut up. Don't say nothing.
Just shut up.
Man,
There you go.
Just shut up.
yo, I'm gonna tell you this, man. You ain't never gonna be famous talking like that. Tell him, Akeem. Tell him. Akeem
All
will
I'm
tell you.
saying is I messaged the group and I just need y'all to reply to that message.
Okay, got it. Got it. Oh,
Alright.
that's funny. Oh, I see it.
Yes.
If y'all don't wanna
Akeem will lay it out every other night. I'll see Akeem. He'll be like, "Hey, I met this dude, butt
Yeah.
blasted him.
Yeah.
Don't even
I mean,
like
you-
him."
You probably
Hey,
got to
man.
cut that out.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No,
Probably.
No,
No,
man,
no. At least you're the only one who can answer the question that we normally ask. What does butt do?
What that butt
know.
do, yo?
We
Yo,
just talk about
so-
the aliens coming in.
Well,
and
hey,
that's the
Jay,
question
the
they
main
ask.
reason we got Akeem on, Akeem is coming home May 28th. It's a Tuesday night. He's going to be live at the Chronic Guru, 16 West Pine Street, Orlando, Florida.
Nice.
The 8 p.m. show is sold out.
Sold
So he has a 10 p.m. show. So make sure you come get tickets for that.
Where can we get
Akeem
tickets,
Woods-
Akeem?
AkeemWoods.com. It's on my
At
website.
KeemWoods.com, you can get tickets. The first show sold out like crazy, so they had to add a second show, man. So make sure you go. And I think it is 50-seater. What is it, Akeem?
Yeah, it's like 50 seater. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
it's
a
only
50
15 bucks.
Yeah, and $15 tickets. So make sure y'all live at the. Is it Chronic Guru? Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
All
Right
right, because
there.
I was
That's
like,
it.
yo, so it's like you gonna smoke weed up in there? That's what it is.
You can. I will not, but you can. I think it's like a
'Cause-
weed. It's like a weed. It's like a
Cause
weed
you
edible.
you
type
don't
vibe.
do nothing. You don't drink. You don't smoke. Like you
No,
just gay.
I've never drunk or smoked in my life. Just gay.
Yeah. All right. Well, you still. I mean, you still going to hell. It don't
Mhm.
matter.
Wow.
You can
Okay.
be. You can live this nice, clean life, bro. You still not gonna make it up there to see. You know
Good.
who? Bam! You gonna see Ruthie May in the afterlife, Playboy.
If heaven, all I'm saying
You ain't gonna
is,
make it to heaven neither, Ken. That's why when you die,
if heaven is
when
if
you die,
heaven
Ken.
listen, if heaven doesn't have gay people, the choir is gonna be terrible.
Oh, it's gonna be
True
bad.
that.
All I'm saying.
True that.
Every choir director is gay as hell. So
Yeah.
if
trying
heaven
to-
don't got gay
Hey,
people, it's gonna be
hey,
terrible up there.
Akeem got a point. You mean to tell me ain't no gay people in heaven, so there ain't no brunch at all?
Yeah.
Like ain't no
it's not
brunch.
gonna it's not gonna look the way we think it does. Where's all the robes and gold
No,
and white?
It's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna be a bunch of white dudes listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
y'all
gonna
want.
be- hey,
That's what y'all want
Akeem,
heaven to be. Is a bunch of Joe
Akeem,
Rogan
straight-
podcasters.
Straight heaven is a Buffalo Wild Wings, and that's gay hell.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey,
No.
Akeem, is this your first time on our show?
No, I think
Years
it's
ago, he came
I
on.
think I came back years ago, like maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we know your origin story then.
Probably. Yeah. Last time I was on, I think I came on like right after I did late night, and that was damn near 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was a
Alright,
while
cool.
ago, man. Proud of you for doing that though, bro.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got
man,
rid of
that
all the
was-
white
that
people
was
since
good.
you left.
That's true.
Good. It was in my writers.
So you in New York now. Give us the differences in New York and LA.
New York is a city that really loves, for the most part, really loves and respects the craft of stand-up.
Okay. Okay.
LA is a city where they don't give anything about stand-up. I can't say what I want to say. They don't
Mhm.
care about stand-up at all. They're more about fame and TV and Hollywood and stuff like that.
The,
So
the
that's
lights and cameras.
exactly. So like I always people always say you go to New York to get good, you go to LA to get famous. And
Okay.
that couldn't be more accurate.
And
You
you
go to
feel
Florida,
say,
get
like,
better.
you-
Yeah, go ahead, Miguel.
Would you say in New York, like that's where you like you say in LA, comedy is a tool to get somewhere. In New York, the comedians are doing comedy. As much as everybody wants to be famous or whatever, they want to do comedy. And
yeah,
that's
you
what
want to
they're there
get
for.
better at comedy and you get paid. Like they pay
Yeah.
you well. Like to put it like this, like I made more money when I first moved to New York. I made more money in a week in New York than I made in a year in LA.
Dang.
Just from stand up, not counting TV stuff, like not counting like writing or TV stuff like that, but just from stand up.
Wow.
And
Bro,
you
that's
feel like
crazy.
New York made you a stronger comic?
It did, because New York, you're doing 4 or 5 spots a night. You're doing like you're at the Comedy Cellar, New York Comedy Club, the Stand. Like you're at all these comedy clubs, and if you're working out a set, you're doing 15-minute sets. You can do 5 or 6 a night. All the crowds are packed, especially on the weekend. Like all the shows are usually sold out, so you're performing in front of sold out shows of people who are fans of comedy. So a joke you did at 6 p.m. is going to be different by the time it's midnight. And you get all that time to work out that one joke.
I like that. That's
People who are
dope.
paying attention.
You can work out a joke in a night, getting up so much in New York. That's crazy.
The most spots I ever did in a night was 8.
Phew.
My first spot was at 6, and my last spot was at the Cellar at like 2 a.m.
And it's packed at 2:00 in the morning to Cellar.
Sold out. The Cellar is sold out right now for like the next 2 months. Like this,
Nice.
you always got to wait. The only time the Cellar is not sold out is Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Super Bowl like Sunday.
And Derek Jeter's birthday. All right, King, real quick, don't go anywhere because I want to talk to you. There's a couple questions I want to ask you before we let you go from the show. Can you stick around one more segment with us?
He's staying the whole show.
I'm staying the whole show. I don't got
Okay,
nothing going on.
Perfect. All right, y'all don't go anywhere. When we get back, we're going to be talking to Akeem Woods. He's one of the comics locally here. They went off and made good for himself. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back right here on Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. Back, everybody. You are still listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host tonight, Mr. James Yan, in virtual studio with my good friends, Ken Miller, a.k.a. Jodeci is Greater Than Boys to Men. Preach. Also, we got Miguel Colon Jr., the gentleman who helped start all this hilarity, and we got our official sponsor and a really good friend and comedian, Mr. Jeff Batman coffin. Now, our
Ow!
special guest today is Akeem Woods. Of course, you guys know him and love him on Late Night. Used to write for BET. I forgot about that. Angela Yee
Ooh.
podcast, touring with Godfrey. Now, I want to ask you a question.
What's up?
There are so many great comics out there who've had so much success and they've had their origins be tied to here, which is Orlando, Florida. Do you think Orlando helped prepare you to be a better comic than other places people give credit to?
1,000%. I think what I loved so much about starting in Orlando rather than like New York or LA
Mhm.
is like the thing that people don't realize in these big cities because they're so in them. Orlando, when I started in 2010. So when
Mhm.
I started, Orlando had some really good mics. Like, and the thing about Orlando, like what New York comics don't realize and what LA comics don't realize is like not all mics are terrible. Like in LA and in New York, you're just performing for comedians. There's rarely
it.
any audience members. There's
Got
no
it.
one in the audience. You're just yelling on stage, waiting for the next comic to come on stage and talk about whatever they're talking about.
Mhm.
In Orlando, there are so many great mics, like from Austin's Coffee to the other bar to Space Bar when that was still a thing to Bull and Bush to there's so many amazing mics, and a lot of times those mics will be packed. Like I'm talking about standing room only. Like those times when I started at Austin's Coffee, that's why I first mic. There were times where I'd get there and there were people, it's so busy, those people sitting on the stage.
Yes.
And you're performing in front of 50, 60 people in a room that only seats 30. And you really get to perform in front of real people, so you get feedback from people who are actually going to come to comedy shows and buy tickets and like actual people.
Yes.
Whereas in New York and LA, if you're starting out, it's rare that you're ever even performing for actual people.
Got it. See,
And
that's the difference.
It's a city where you can build time. So like I started building time and I started featuring, and those small little clubs that like C clubs and B clubs. But you can really work on your 15-minute set, then your 20-minute set, then your half-hour set, and eventually build up to an hour. You could really do that in places like Orlando. You can't, not say that you can't do it in New York and LA, but it's significantly harder.
I understand. I agree with you. Like we've always said that, and I know we bias me, Ken, and Miguel, and Jeff, but we believe that we have a comedy community that people sleep on who really don't know if you're not from here, because you wouldn't think of that way if you're from a Chicago, a LA, or New York. That you wouldn't think that Florida has a great like comedy scene. Yeah, I think we produce beasts. I think that's what we do. Florida makes two things: great comics and great crystal meth. That's what we do, Akeem.
100%.
Yeah, bro. Facts all day.
And the reason I 100% agree with that is anytime we go feature for somebody,
bro.
They do.
Bro, they be like, "Hey, man, yeah,
hey,
hey,
Orlando boys, yeah." But yeah,
different.
Jeff has something to run through you.
Yeah, I'm selfish. You live in New York, man, and you know that's the food capital of our country.
Yes.
You know, what is your favorite meal in New York, and where do you which borough? Where do you go?
I live in Manhattan. Joe's Pizza is probably the best pizza, but I don't really eat pizza that often. I try to just. I live in Manhattan, which is such a food place.
Yes, it is.
Especially where I live. I live in the East Village, so I just try to go to random places at least once a week. I try to go to a place I've never been to, it's easy to do. And there's like food trucks everywhere. There was just like a parade thing that they had on Friday when I had the night off, so I just walked around and ate. So I don't have a particular place, and if I do, I don't have like the name of it in my head. Like whenever a friend comes to visit me, I'm like, "Yo, I know the place. We got to go to that Jamaican place." And you couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you what the name is. I just know it's on 8th, and we got to walk a few blocks and take a left, and that's it. Like
there should be like food truck glory holes where you don't know what's on the other end. You just come up and you just tap.
Listen,
and then they like a little hole opens and
they
the
put
bomb
a sandwich in the
slides.
hole. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm 1,000% sure that it exists.
Yo,
Yeah.
Hey, hey, every now and then you're like, "Oh, thank God it's hibachi."
Yeah.
I come walking out of there. I come walking out of there all mad. I said, "Food truck glory hole, y'all."
Food
Yeah.
joint. Hey, you get happy when it's an actual glizzy. Like,
Yeah.
Cause I'll
there's
be mad at something I'm allergic to, like
Yeah.
shrimp
Mhm.
again.
yeah.
there's some fancy places here. I've been to a few really fancy restaurants because I have famous friends. So I've been to some really fancy restaurants. So I'm like, I can't afford to eat here, but you can. So I'm gonna be here and you gonna pay.
Mhm.
And the food is I had Wagyu steak that was like I think it was like $150. Once
Yeah.
again, I did not pay for it, but when I took the bite, I was like, "Oh, I can see why y'all paying for this. I see why y'all paying for this."
Mhm.
Akeem went to a restaurant. The waiter came by. He was like, "Hello, my name is Charles," and then cut a piece of his own flesh off.
Yeah.
Like, seared it.
Yeah.
He made it, and he died right there. He
food-
was like,
the
"It's
food
all
is
right."
crazy.
I feel like, yo, you rich dudes be wilding in restaurants.
Everybody's, he put ketchup on it. Savage.
Oh,
Akeem,
disgusting.
I got a question with that, man. So this is I want to call this my Diddy party question.
Mm.
Yeah.
When you started hanging around with celebrities and stuff like that, I'm sure you went to events. What you don't have to drop no names or anything like that. But was there ever a time that you were just like, rich people are weird?
100%.
Like you would just, yeah.
I went to a party from a friend of mine who's doing very well. She's always been very, very nice to me. And
Shout out to Ben Brainerd.
I'm sorry.
No, I said shout out to Ben Brainerd.
I mean, I said a friend, and
Oh, that's funny.
I went to this party and it was crazy. It was crazy because it was like everyone at these type of parties are very, not everyone. I don't want to say everyone. A lot of them were really fake. So like I went there and I'm like a very much not a celebrity. I always tell people I'm famous adjacent. I'm friends with people who are famous, but I am famous adjacent.
Facts.
And everyone was weird, and everyone was treating me like I wasn't important. And then I know the person who runs the show, so immediately the person saw me. She's like, "Oh my god, you made it!" and gave me a big hug. And we chatted. We chatted for a little bit, and then immediately everyone's like, "Yo, but who is he? Like, why did he hug? That's wild." So it's just like it's just, and I did see some crazy stuff happen that I can't say on air, but it was the Hollywood parties. I've only been to like one or two, and they're a lot, and that was only in New York. I haven't been to any in LA,
which is crazy because I've seen your act and you say some wild stuff, and for you to be like, man, it was wild, so there must have been like farm animals. Like all kinds
Akeem
of stuff.
Akeem was in the middle of an orgy just looking around like there's no fire exit here. This is crazy. Nobody's safe. Just plugging bowling balls.
I go to regular orgies. I go to regular orgies, not with famous people.
True.
Hey, for everybody listen, Akeem Woods live at the Chronic Guru, 16 West Pine Street, Orlando, Florida. Tuesday, May 28th, 10 p.m. The 8 p.m. show is sold out. So get your tickets for the 10 p.m. show at www.akeemwoods.com. Akeem, tell us, you're on the radio with us and you've been doing radio a lot, man. Talk about that friendship you have with that famous radio personality, Miss Angela Yee.
Angela Yee, oh, she's so sweet. I was just texting her earlier. Angela is so down. She's one of the nicest.
Real quick, also too, we got a really white ass audience, so you might want to tell them who Angela Yee is.
Angela Yee is very, very, very talented. She's most known. Well, she was most known for being the woman mic on The Breakfast Club, which is a very famous syndicated show that ran for 10 plus years. She was a staple on that show.
A radio personality.
Yes, and then she moved on to do her own show, which is also syndicated, called Way Up with Angela Yee. I've been on that at least 5 or 6 times.
Yes, you have.
She has a hit podcast called Lip Service. I've been on that twice, and she's dope. So we met in DC, and I've met a decent amount of famous people, just because, like, it's the business. And I was opening for Godfrey, and I got off stage, and I was selling my t-shirts, and I go to the green room, and as soon as I walk in, I see her just sitting on the couch, and I'm like, "Oh snap, you're Angela Yee." And she was like, and immediately she's like, "Oh my God, you're so funny." And she gave me this big hug, and we're talking. And in my act, I have a lot of jokes about like sexual stuff, and her podcast is very much based off that.
It is, yes.
So immediately she's like, "Oh my God, we have to have you on Lip Service." I'm like, "Okay." And in my head, people have told me, like, I've opened for comics who are famous and were like, I'm gonna take you on the road. I'm like, okay, and then they never
They
reply to
never
my
do.
text message.
Yeah, they never. Yeah.
So I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, girl, I'm gonna be on your podcast, whatever. And then fast forward to like a week, maybe 2 weeks later, I get a text message from one of her people, and they're like, hey, Angela wants to know if you're in town on such and such day to come and record the podcast. And I'm like, oh, Angela Hugh. They're like, Angela Yee. I'm like, oh, okay, because I didn't know she was gonna hit me up.
Yeah.
I did the podcast. It was so much fun. After we got done, she was like, hey, I'm doing this radio show. I have the syndicated radio show. Do you want to guest host it with me when I get the show? And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, just text me when, like, what date you're around and we'll make it happen. I'm like, oh, I don't have your number. She's like, oh, take down my number. So she gave me her number, and I just randomly texted her because I had to promote stuff. I'm like, hey, just reaching out. I would love to come on your show and promote stuff if it's still available, blah, blah, blah. The next day she sends me a text. She's like, okay, cool. Let's do Friday at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m., whatever.
Nice.
And then ever since then, we've just been like, I'll text her something. Like she'll text me and be like, yo, you got to watch this show. And like we talk on the phone. Like she's always, I'm actually going to be on the show sometime this week. But she's just really cool and down to earth, and she knows everybody.
Don't you find that most people surrounding I'm gonna say most comics I've met that are famous are really cool, down to earth. There's only one I met that I was kind of like, maybe he's having a bad day. But for the most part, everyone that I've met that's been famous in the comedy has been really like cool and wants to hang out and talk and do stuff. And they're not like, oh no, don't talk to me. That's what I find though.
I've had the privilege of working with quite a bit, and I've only worked with one that I didn't care for. But for the most part, they've all been like very, very nice. But yeah, she's dope, and she's just, more importantly, she's a woman who does what she says she's gonna do. If she says she's gonna get you on a thing,
there you go.
She 100% will get you on that.
Because we've been lied to in this business how many times, Akeem?
Oh, I can't tell. I should have been on 8 tours by now. Like I should have been on 8 tours and 2 movies.
That's funny.
So
that's funny.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, man, you do a lot right now. You're on the road constantly. How long are you gone from your home, man? How many weeks you on the road?
I'm not on the road as much as I used to be. In the peak of being on the road, so I've been on the road for like 7 years. In the peak, I'd be gone for a month and then come home for a month.
Got it.
Gone for a month. But now I'm just gone. Like it depends. Like I'm about to leave. I'm about to go on tour right now. So like this weekend I'm in Portland with Godfrey, and then I'm in Orlando, and then I'm in Chicago with Ido Rodriguez, and then I'm doing some Pride gigs in like Boston.
Got you.
So I'll be gone for like 2 weeks. But like when I used to be on the road, I'd be gone for a month at a time. Like
Pride week in Boston.
Yeah. Listen, there's gay people everywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, because Pride month is June, so I'm booked and busy.
Hey, Pride week, bro, in Boston, I'm impressed.
Pride
you can be
week
gay
and
and
Celtic
racist.
Pride, bro.
Bro, that's like having a Black Lives Matter rally at a Trump rally. Like, that's different.
You can be
Idaho,
gay. You can be gay and racist, and believe me, they are doing it.
Really?
100%.
That's funny.
Like, we're here, we're queer, and we don't need no Arabs moving into the neighborhood.
Yeah,
How about that, Sully?
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
100% what they're doing.
Yeah.
But
Hey, what's
shout
up,
out
guys?
to
It's me, Mark Wahlberg, and I'm here at the gay parade.
But I'm in
It's pretty cool.
I'm in P-Town, which is a very famous gay part of like Boston. It's like a whole little gay island.
With a name like that, of course it is. Bro.
It's Mark Wahlberg, and I'm in P-Town. It's pretty good. Me and my buddy Donnie used to dance here when we was kids. I committed a hate
wiped
crime.
up.
I committed a hate crime. You damn right, Donnie.
Don't get dog. The 28th, Tuesday, May 28th, 10 p.m. Akeem Woods live at the Chronic Guru, 16 West Pine Street, Orlando, Florida. Go get your tickets at www.akeemwoods.com. I think we gotta go to commercial.
Yep.
Right? I had to throw it out real quick.
We'll be right back. Y'all don't go anywhere. With more hilarity when we return right here on Real Laughs, Real Radio 104.1. And thank you. That's right. You're still listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I'm your host today, Mr. James John. We are joined in virtual studio with my man Ken Miller, Miguel Colon Jr., Jeff Kaufman, and our special guest. That's right, local hero that's done good out there in the comedy world, Mr. Akeem Woods in the building.
Yeah, man. Check them out. Don't forget Akeem Woods Tuesday, May 28th, 10 p.m. show live at the Chronic Guru, 16 West Pine Street, Orlando, Florida. Get your tickets at www.akeemwoods.com.
AKEEM if you're dumb.
Akeem, you gotta tell us the origin story of Trollop Tales.
Bro. First, tell people what it is, and then
Episode 32 is coming soon. So I one of my dear friends, very funny comedian, Mia Jackson.
shout out to Mia.
She's very, very funny. She's a New York comic. She tours with Amy Schumer. She wrote. I can't say what she just did, but she writes for a lot of shows, and she just did something really cool that I remembered mid-sentence I couldn't tell y'all. But she's very, very successful. She's on the show Life and Beth, which is also on Hulu. Very talented comedian. Anyway, one of my best friends, we're in a group chat that's been going on for like 5 years. And she always insults me, but like, she's older. I think her and Ken are probably the same age. And she always listen, Ken know he ain't young, and she'll always throw out these old insults. And I remember one day she was just, because I post hookup stories. So what I do is I have a lot of sex because I'm not a loser. And what I do is I'll post stories about like funny stuff that happens while I'm out in these streets. And I posted one crazy story, and immediately Mia messaged me, and she just called me a trollop. And I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, Mia, what are these 1960 insults that you're giving me? And it was just so funny. So then I started doing these. So then I did Horrible Decisions. Horrible Decisions is a very, very famous podcast hosted by Wheezy and Mandy. So I did it on their show, and I told a story about a U-Haul that went viral on Black Twitter. And they were like, you got to tell these stories more on your social media. So then I started doing this thing called Trollop Tales. And I used to do it weekly, but now I don't do it. I still do it, but not weekly because it's this time consuming. But every few weeks I'll tell like a crazy hookup story. And if you're wondering how much, if you're wondering how much sex I've had, we're on episode 33. And each episode is a different person. So it's been a lot.
Yeah, bro.
You are a trollop. You've earned that, sir.
Real, B.
I'm fun.
Is that what it's? I'm fun.
I'm fun.
I don't want to take this as an insensitive question, but you're my comedy son, so and I love you to death. You know that. Does it scare
He pitches,
you?
Ken. He pitches hardcore.
You know what came? It ain't the 1960s. It's like the 1700s that where trollop came from.
Does it scare me? I mean, no. Do you mean like from a health point?
Health point,
no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the thing about gays is we're very healthy. There's a thing called PrEP, and straight people don't know about this for whatever reason because I guess it's a taboo. But there's a thing called PrEP. It's a blue pill you take every day, and that prevents you from contracting HIV. So as long as you take that pill every day, you're good. And then there's another pill, the 2 blue pills, is called DoxyPrep, which straight people need to know about because this is for you guys. DoxyPrep is a pill if you take it after you have unprotected sex, and it 80%, it increases your chances by 80% of you not contracting an STI. So
Let me tell you something.
Syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, whatever.
Yep.
As soon as you get done having the sex, within 48 hours, you take these 2 blue pills. I have a bunch on my counter.
Wow.
Akeem, I have to take a blue pill just to have sex.
Well, then
why every pill dealing with sex blue?
Well,
because
maybe
they like keep it in the same shelf.
Maybe you're not having the type of sex you want to have. Maybe you wouldn't need a blue pill.
Akeem, I wish I was gay, man. To spend my life with a dude all day instead of a woman would be glorious. We'd have one set of clothing. We'd just kick it. Be like, hey, you take your DoxyPrep? No, me neither.
Yeah,
Let's run off.
So
But
it's
I'm
like,
telling you, man,
wow.
so like
why do you think the gay community has been more educated than like the straight community on that?
Because we had an AIDS crisis.
Because you can die. Come on.
Yeah. Well, because we had a huge crisis, and not me as in me, obviously. I wasn't alive during it.
Yeah.
But I have friends that were. My friend Brad, one of my favorite comics, Brad Lockley, very funny gay comic. He writes for all the drag queens. He's been on numerous TV. He's like gay famous. He's very, very funny. And he's an older guy. He's like Ken age. And
That's funny.
Old Negro spiritual Ken.
And he was alive during like the AIDS crisis. So he had a lot of friends and family die from it. So we know how serious sexual diseases can be. So now that we have the technology and we have like the pills and the stuff to prevent it, we're very much most gay men are very much on top of it. Most gay men are on either PrEP or doxy PrEP, or even if they do contract HIV, you can take
Suck it out like a snake poison.
Shut up. You can take a pill. You can take a pill that makes you undetectable. So even if you have it, it's impossible for you to transmit it after you take these pills.
It's like a werewolf on hemlock. Transforming.
So we're just way more safe. So the stigma that people have, like when people hear that I'm such a hoe, a lot of times people are like, "Ooh, you must be filled with disease." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not, because I'm safe. I'm taking a lot." I live
by the policy that STDs live in the back of the vagina, and since I never get there, I'm good.
Yeah, please don't listen. Please don't listen.
Good. Stay in the foyer.
Please do not listen to Miguel. Y'all gonna end up with a baby and an STD.
Hey, look here, man, Miguel. That is one of my top 5 favorite memes. The meme say I ain't gotta worry about an STD because my penis so small and all the diseases in the back of the stuff. Hey, man,
back, man.
That is my top 5 favorite meme.
Yeah, well,
baby.
I listen. I need to say, because this airs in Florida, and y'all are wildly uneducated, and I know that because I grew up in Florida.
Yes,
I want to say on air that is not true. Please go take medicine and use condoms before you end up with 17 babies.
Miguel has a saying about condoms. Go ahead, Miguel.
Condoms are for people with trust issues, and I'm not going to start a relationship out like that. My pee-pee gonna have holes in it like a flute. I'm going raw till it looks like a Nestle Crunch bar.
This episode brought to you by Trojan.
Yeah.
Akeem, if anyone's watching this, they know just by looking at me, you know better to take any kind of health advice from me.
I mean, yeah, your name is Miguel. So.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, don't you listen to Akeem Woods live at the Chronic Guru, 16 West Pine Street, Orlando, Florida, Tuesday, May 28th, 10 p.m. Akeem, I know I was there for the worst show you've ever had to me.
Yeah,
I was there for that.
It still was the worst. So today,
it's my favorite bomb story ever. But what's your favorite show you've ever done?
My favorite show. Damn, my favorite show. It's been okay. So my favorite show while I was headlining was probably a show that I did at St. Louis. Not St. Louis. Ooh, let me take that back. It wasn't St. Louis. St. Louis was terrible. It was North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina. I was doing Good Nights Comedy Club.
I
was headlining. It was sold out. And it was just one of those shows where, like, the audience was so much fun. I had a lot of fans there. I had just got done doing some things that went kind of viral, so it was sold out. And it was just, I ended up doing almost an hour, 15 minutes. And it was just one of those shows where, like, everything was working. The crowd was on fire. I actually ended up posting this set on OnlyFans. Shout out to OnlyFans. I'm sponsored by them. They owe me money. But I posted it there. And I made a lot of money selling it. Like, it was a $15. I charged $15. I ended up having like 40 people pay to see the set. It's like I only recorded 40 minutes because they didn't start the recording. Because I kept saying on stage, I'm like, man, I wish they was recording this. Mm-hmm. I said that so many times on stage that the comics actually set up a tripod and started recording. So I got the last 45 minutes of this hour plus set, and it was so fun that I just posted it and charged $15, and I made almost $700 off of just that post.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with
that was probably one of my favorite shows. And then one of my favorite shows, like, that I wasn't headlining when I was opening, is I opened for Godfrey in Oakland, and Oakland is hood. Like, it's so hood.
Oh, everybody knows.
And whenever you do hood shows as a gay person, it's always a battle at first because you have to deal with, like, homophobia. Mm-hmm. But I did Oakland, and I'm doing my set, and this Thug Life dude heckles me. And I can't say what I said back, but I said something back so crazy. The table went crazy. And, like, the audience was, and then after I said that, and they realized that I was not only gay, but I didn't care how they felt about it.
Yeah.
They loved me with so much adoration that I finished my set. The crowd went crazy. Like, it was a partial standing ovation. Afterwards, that same dude gave me $100. Like, he came up to me and he was like, "Yo, I didn't think he was gonna be funny." Blah,
did
blah,
you meet him out back?
He gave me no. But it was just one of those shows where like they went from like being uncomfortable to being like my biggest fans within 30 minutes. So that was one of my favorite shows.
Dude,
That when
I
was
would say this, Akeem, and this is a fact about black comedy, especially if it's some hood or urban or some really blackity black.
Yeah.
If you get up there and you do well, when I tell you after the show, when they say, "Boy, you stupid," "Boy, you ignorant," "Boy, you a damn fool," "Boy, like when you get that black people like you. Because that ain't an insult. They like, boy, you stupid.
You know how crazy it was? It was such a good show. I literally got added to a family group chat after the show.
Funny.
They like, oh no, you in the group chat. These 5 black women added me to their family group chat. And I still get messages on like randomly on Thanksgiving. Like they added me to the family group chat. That's how much they love me.
Hey, Ken, Mama done started a group chat.
Yeah, Mama started a group chat.
So that
Mama done ate all her blue pills.
Yeah, those
Mama, why is you texting Akeem?
Those are my 2 that I could think of. Those are my 2 standout shows that I was like, wow, this is.
Gotcha. Now, Ken, remind everybody once again where Akeem's gonna be, bro.
Yeah, man, don't forget to check out my comedy son, Akeem Woods, live at the Chronic Guru, downtown Orlando, 16 West Palm Street, Orlando, Florida, Tuesday, May 28th. The early show is sold out, so you got the 10 p.m. show. Go to www.akeemwoods.com. That is AKEEM Woods.com. Go get your tickets, and let's go ahead and sell this out, man. And rumor is I might be on it.
Ken might be on the show. I don't know who's gonna be on the show. We just got to sell these tickets. But yeah, Ken's probably gonna be on one of the shows.
Gotcha. Now, Ken, while we're at it, in the mood of telling people where comedy's gonna be this weekend, where you gonna be this weekend, brother?
Hey, man, I'm gonna be at Fort Myers Snappers Comedy Club. I can't shut up. On Wednesday and Thursday. So make sure you check me out. And then Friday and Saturday, I'll be at St. Cloud at one of our favorite barbecue spots, Porky's Comedy Club, May 24th, 25th. If you want to see me, code word Ken Miller. And Kenneth. If you use Kenneth, you get free tickets to Porky's Comedy Club.
All right, thank you, Kim and Akeem. Now this leads me to my man Miguel Colon Jr. Miguel, what you got going on this weekend, bro?
Oh, I forgot to tell him what I'm doing this weekend.
I got stuff you last. Weekend.
Oh, I'm last. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Miguel.
Go ahead, Miguel.
Me and Jeff Kaufman, we're gonna be at Bloodhound Brew this Saturday, May 25th. Doors open at 8:30. I'm gonna be headlining. Jeff's gonna be featuring.
There you go. Beautiful. Y'all can see Mr. Miguel Colon Jr. and Jeff Kaufman performing. I want to remind you guys also coming up on June 6th, we have another installment of All for the Money. It's an outrageous monthly comedy show, the only one of its kind, where you guys can see live stand-up comedy from Ken Miller, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr., Jeff Kaufman, and it's brand new material, never been done on stage. Then we play interactive comedy games with you guys, and we give you a chance to win $2,000 in cash and prizes, all for the money. If you want to get them tickets, go to whenyouneedus.com/events and get them tickets. And if you guys want to come see me this weekend, I'll be performing on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Cocoa Beach at Gregory's Comedy Club. You guys go to my social media or gregoryscomedy.com to get your tickets right now. And also in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be hanging out with this man, Mr. Devin Siebold. We're doing a Midwest Funny Bone comedy tour. We got 3 nights of 3 great shows. You guys can check us out in Kansas City on June 4th at that Funny Bone. You can check us out in Omaha, Nebraska on June 5th and Des Moines, Iowa on June 6th. If you want
I'm be in Kansas City June 4th for
That's right. Miguel's going to be on the Kansas City show with us on June 4th. Y'all come out and see us. If you want to get them tickets, all you have to do is go to devincomedy.com. One more time. That's devincomedy.com, June 4th, 5th, and 6th. Y'all come out and have a good time. And last but definitely not least, Akeem, where are you going to be performing this weekend, brother?
This weekend, you can catch me at the Helium Comedy Club in Portland, Oregon, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, opening for the very, very funny Godfrey. I've been touring with him for a very long time. We're doing 5 shows there. And then make sure you check me out at Chronic Guru, like they said, not April, Jesus Christ. On the 28th in downtown, AkeemWoods.com for tickets. And I'm at City Winery on the 29th in Chicago with Ida Rodriguez. There's not a lot of tickets left for that. So if you're in Chicago, make sure you get those tickets on the 29th at City Winery with Ida Rodriguez. All of that is on my website, AkeemWoods.com, AKEEM Woods. And if you're gay and single, slide in my DMs, which is also
Okay, all right.
Make sure you eat them
AKEM Woods.
combination of blue pills so you don't end up with Nestle Crunch. Dick
And
Wang.
and if you're not gay, we can just say no homo afterwards, and we don't have to tell you.
No,
You
no.
can just Meek. You can be his little Meek Mill, and he'll play Diddy.
No, do not compare me to Diddy. Hard pass.
These times like this, I cry like this.
Before we go to also Mr. Jeff Kaufman, can you remind everybody what they can do on Saturday mornings to hear you?
Oh,
Saturday mornings, we have our show Under Oath that airs actually simulcast on 3 different channels, but Real Radio is the first one from 7:30 to 9 with my co-host James John.
There you go, people. You can get all of this hilarity each and every day. Don't forget that, guys. Thank y'all for listening and tuning in tonight. Ken Miller, tell them what they need to do.
Take your ass to bed and take that prep, son.
Take them all.